So now that you get into the room with people that are of status, and now that you are starting to network with people that maybe a couple brackets ahead of you, the question is, what is the perception that they have of you? Do they have a perception that is positive, negative, or do they have a perception that is controlled or influenced in any way, shape, or form by how you behave or how you conduct yourself or how you speak or how you dress, right? All these things convey a message. They are forms of communication, and it is those forms of communication that you need to master. You need to master the forms of communication that transcend the spoken word. Spoken word is extremely important, but it is not the only form of communication. So let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen, how would you like to be perceived? How would you like people to see you, right? When people look at you, what do they see? Write that down. Like, what do people see when they look at you? What do you see when you look at yourself? Now, the question is, depending on your goals, what do you want people to see? Now that you know what you want people to see, the question is not how do I pretend to become that? That's the bullshit way. No, it's how do I make a plan that gets me from here to here? Not how do I shortcut and pretend to be this guy? How do I go to become this person that I know will become ROI positive? I'll give you guys a little story. I was sitting down with a guy that was pitching me an idea. He was pitching me an idea for a sales company that had to do a lot with face-to-face interactions. I spoke to him on the phone as he showed me the potential numbers. I got excited. I was like, bro, this could be a really good opportunity. So this guy was about to get a $2 million check, right? He was 2.2 million, something like that. And I ended up being in a situation where I was like, you know what? Let's meet for dinner. We meet for dinner, and here comes in this guy dressed with this super cheap suit. And when we sit down, he has long fingernails and dirt under his fingernails. Automatically, that's all I'm focused on. I'm focused on this dude that's asking me for $2 million, that is dressed like a bum, that has dirt underneath his fingernails. And yeah, 1 in a million, it could be a super genius that happens to be autistic and, I don't know, it can put you on the moon. Most times, they're just frauds or gimmicks or people that really don't understand the name of the game and maybe potentially not worth it. Now, why do I convey that? Because he conveyed that message to me. I didn't make that assumption, right? He made me make that assumption based off of the information that he gave me. I could have easily perceived it, right? Culturally, mentally, whatever, in a different way, superficially in a different way. But I perceived it the way that I perceived it, period, right? Whether it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. But you have the ability, right, to in some way, shape, or form, control how you want people to look at you. It's extremely important. So when you enter these rooms with these people that you want to network with, right, that you want to position yourself with, one, do not be like them, right? Do not be like the people that are around you. What do I mean, like the people around you? Don't wear the same shit that people wear. Don't talk the same way that people talk. Don't think the same way that people think. Have your own thoughts. Do not go in the direction of the crowd, but stand apart, set yourself apart, and that will attract people to you, right? This idea of magnetism and not chasing. So position yourself in a way that you are open and attracting people to converse with you, to dialogue with you. Everybody's on their fucking phone, always 24/7, enclosed right here, right? Nobody can converse with you. So how you position yourself, how you move, how you interact, it's extremely important. It's very, very valuable. How you dress, how you look, how you smell, how people perceive you when they look at you is extremely important. And if you don't think that all these things influence how much money you make, then you're extremely wrong. If you think that a good-looking girl that is really, really nice has a equal chance at getting a job raise, then an ugly girl that isn't taken care of and has a really bad attitude, then you're mistaken. A pretty girl with a really good attitude, good job performance will outwork a ugly girl, right? And out-earn and potentially have a higher stake at the table of debate, right? And at the table of negotiation, because they have more things working towards them, because people see all of these things as value adds. If you don't think a good-looking person is a plus to your organization, then you're sadly mistaken. It is. Especially if you have door-to-door sales, especially if you have sales reps. Why do you think all these pharma companies hire pretty blonde girls to go out and sell pharmaceuticals for them? Because the girls can sell. Because that's the dudes the guys are willing to sit down and listen to for 20 minutes rant about some bullshit pill. So it's not that I'm talking out of my ass here. Like, people are really using these tactics in real life because they understand that it works. But if you were to send a dude to the office, right, and he was dressed like a bum, trying to sell you some bullshit pills, the dude wouldn't give you 2 minutes, right? And that's the name of the game. So yeah, it may be superficial, but we live in a superficial realm. We right now are wearing this carcass, and how you equip the video game character, is extremely important. And if you don't think that it's important, then you don't understand the name of the game. It's not about identifying yourself with these things, right? And finding pride in these things or your identity in these things, but it's utilizing the things that the video game has to level up. That's why you buy a timepiece, right? Like, the reason you buy a Rolex isn't because, well, it's a beautiful piece, bro. But you don't just buy it because you just buy it. There's a lot of value points that are attached to it that I think are intrinsic, and it's these value points that you're purchasing, right? So if I'm trying to perceive something or I'm trying to showcase something, right, would it be more valuable for me to showcase it on my wrist in the form of a watch that people know has some form of success attached to it, or secretly hidden in the bank account? Well, obviously, this helps with whatever perception I'm trying to create. If I'm trying to create a perception of success or of status, or that I've rewarded myself for something nice, then I will wear the watch. But that which cannot be seen counts for nothing. You know, one time I saw somebody that was wearing a really nice suit and wasn't wearing any timepieces and was wearing ugly shoes. And it made me wonder if he rented the suit out. That was it. There was nothing attached to it. There was no like, oh, I won't do or I will do business with you, none of these things, or I won't have a conversation with you. That was just a thought that I had. Now imagine the dude walks in super fitted, looking like $1 million. He's gonna get a compliment from me. I'll be like, dude, this guy looks sharp. And it might catch my attention in a different way. The same way you would have a situation where somebody's extremely intelligent and codes a program in a more organized fashion, in a faster fashion than somebody else, right? The preparation has taken place, and that preparation of perception is extremely important. So how are you perceived? How are people looking at you once you enter these rooms? Understand, evaluate, dictate that which you want to be, and don't pretend to become it, right? People are like, fake it to make it. No, become it. Become it. And once you become it, then you open up your mouth and begin to provide value in the marketplace. Sometimes you just have to lock yourself up in the dojo and recreate the character, right? And of course, making money is a very big value point and value add in this entire equation, because in order to level up your character, in order to take care of yourself, it requires money. So that's why we're here, to make sure that this is a wealth of information that is well-rounded, not just focused on money and things like that, but that it's an encompassing focus on how life should be perceived, or a different perspective as to how I've taken certain principles and allowed them to utilize natural law to make really good decisions in my life that have resulted in me becoming a multimillionaire. And one of these keys was being honest with how the world works, being honest with the fact that the physical representation matters, and that you should be able to control the physical representation of how you look, how you present yourself to people, and that could be a very intelligent business play. Take it into consideration, take it into account, continue to level up, and I'll see you guys on the next video.